Yo, what is going on, guys? It's One Solo here with ASQD Gaming, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in today for some more State of Decay 2. So in today's video, we're actually going to be talking about the new facilities and also new weapons that are going to be coming in the Daybreak DLC next week, because a lot of this stuff is already in the game. We just can't access it yet. So first thing we're going to be looking at is the base facilities. So actually, if you have an open slot at your base and you come over and then you select to build a base facility and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you will see that it says Daybreak Pack DLC facilities, and the first one being the Red Talon bunk room, and it says it's a high efficiency bunk layout designed by Red Talon, allowing up to 5 people to sleep in a small amount of space. However, the tight quarters can lead to unhappy survivors. It takes 2 materials, and overall I can see this being something that's going to allow you to have more people in your base and not take up like other areas and stuff, and not have to have like bunk houses and stuff like that for your outposts. But you're going to have some unhappy survivors. Their morale is definitely going to be lower because they're going to be cramped into a very, very tight spot. That's up to you to see how that you want to play that out. But the next one is the Red Talon Workshop. So it says Workshop 3 plus free passive repairs. So a high-end workshop able to passively repair melee and ranged weapons. That is pretty cool, that it will actually passively repair your weapons and stuff that are probably back at your base. That's pretty cool. But it says it provides its own power and it does everything a Workshop 3 can do. So it's basically your Workshop 3 on steroids, which is really, really cool. It takes 2 materials to build, indoor, outdoor, and it's a small slot. Next, we have the Red Talon Watchtower. So this allows you to have 3 armed guards, which decreases your threat level by 6. This is pretty cool. You just have to make sure you have weapons for those guards. So it says here that a highly optimized watchtower allowing up to 3 guards to operate simultaneously, drastically reducing the threat of zombie attacks on your base. Costs 2 materials, obviously only an outdoor slot, but it is a small slot. But you got to have a lot of guns and ammo and stuff to occupy those guards, but it is pretty cool to decrease your threat level by 6. So overall, pretty cool. Next, we have the officer quarters. So this one is very unique. This one actually is kind of cool, and it allows you to have 2 beds. You get a morale boost and you get efficiency gains on the characters that are in here and stuff, so which is pretty cool. And it says it's a luxurious and fully featured sleeping quarters fit for Red Talon officers, complete with a self-contained lavatory, workstation, and recreation section. Costs 2 materials, indoor slot, and it's a small slot. But this basically allows you to have 2 people of your base be just kind of like high and mighty, and you get a morale boost for those characters and a lot of efficiency gains and stuff. So I'm not sure if it's just for those 2 characters or if it's all the way across the board and stuff with characters and whatnot, but that is a very unique facility because that's something that we really haven't seen in any State of Decay, so that's pretty cool. And last but not least, guys, we have the CLEO relay. So CLEO drops are returning to State of Decay. I can finally say that with 100% confirmation. We've been kind of on the fence about this, of whether or not it was going to come back, but you need to build the CLEO relay at your base, and this will allow you to summon satellite relay that will allow you to summon. So this will actually allow you to summon CLEO drops, and it says this kit bash satellite relay lets you request a delivery of high-tech gear from the CLEO system of drones. The signal also draws lots of zombies to your base. So similar to the first game, when you actually go to call in this, it's going to emit a very high frequency thing that's going to attract a lot of zombies. But overall, I'm really excited to see this come back. We are going to have CLEO drops coming back into the game. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be like, for instance, you can request a CLEO drop. It's going to drop inside your base, and then you're going to have to kind of fend off a zombie horde, or it's going to drop somewhere else and you're going to have to fend off the zombie horde and then go get it. And then where you go get it, it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt because there's going to be a bunch of zombies. Only time will tell, but it is good to see that the CLEO drops are returning to State of Decay 2. And those are all the facilities and stuff that are actually going to be in the Daybreak DLC coming to the game. Next, we're going to be talking about some of the new weapons that we actually got to see in a State of Decay 2 live stream the other day by Undead Labs. So I'm going to kind of pop up some of that live stream real quick, so at least some images of it, and we're going to kind of go about talking about some of the new guns and stuff that are coming to the game. So we have a lot to talk about, guys. We actually have 9 new throwables, 8 new melee weapons, a couple of new weapon mods, as well as 9 new ranged weapons. And this is all coming from the live stream that Undead Labs did the other day. So this was actually from a developer's build of the game. So you guys are going to see in the descriptions of these items that it looks kind of weird because it's not quite coded for the full game. This is more of a developer's side. You can kind of see some weird names and weird descriptions and stuff of that. But without further ado, guys, let's jump right into all of the new stuff in the Daybreak DLC. So the first first thing is fire bombs. So this is a lightweight military-grade Molotov meant to allow the wielder to effectively and quickly light enemies on fire, and it does not leave behind a pool of fire. So it's basically a Molotov without the big fire all over the ground. Next, we actually have the deployable pyro minefields. So this one is pretty cool. Once you've dropped this on the ground, you can activate it remotely to cover the area in proximity-triggered pyrotechnic mines. Great for clearing out bloaters and their gas clouds because it lights the entire bloater gas cloud on fire. So that's pretty cool. Next, we have deployable minefields. So you can drop this device wherever you expect unwelcome company, then activate it remotely to cover the area in a high explosive proximity mine. So this one, honestly, I would come in handy. I'm not sure if this would actually kill a juggernaut, but this one would definitely come in handy. Next, we have the fuel traps. So this basically, it's a canister of pressurized gas that explodes violently when shot. So they actually showed this off in the live stream briefly, but I actually didn't have any gameplay of it. I wasn't going to just rip it straight out of the live stream and stuff. So, but you guys will see that very soon enough. Next, we have sticky grenades. So pretty self-explanatory. This barbed fragmentation grenade sticks to soft targets before exploding. So I would almost say that it's like a grenade with like a barbed wire on it. So when it hits the zombie, it like jabs into him and sticks. Pretty cool. Next, we have the remote grenades. So this obviously still pretty self-explanatory. This remote activated frag grenade has more juice than the standard issue. Throw it, then trigger it from a safe distance because it does technically have a larger blast radius than a standard frag grenade. Next, we actually have the remote rocket pods. So we actually got to see this in the Daybreak live stream, and this is a remote activated explosive dispenser, and it blankets the area with destruction when triggered, capable of holding back even juggernauts. So this thing is going to come in handy definitely in the Daybreak DLC, and if you guys want to just go drop some power out here in the actual game. Next, we have the Red Talon crafting station. So this is, you can basically install this as a mod in any facility to gain the ability to craft explosives unique to the Daybreak DLC. So pretty much everything that we just talked about. And last but not least, we have the CLEO support transmitter. So you can install this mod in any facility to gain the ability to request fire support from CLEO over the radio, blasting nearby zombies with high caliber rounds from the sky for a short period of time. So that is pretty cool, especially that last one, being able to basically call in some fire support from CLEO. That's pretty cool. So next, we're going to be talking about the couple of new weapon mods coming in the Daybreak DLC. So the first one being the CLEO Tumbler. So this actually is an unusual muzzle attachment that forces any projectile leaving the barrel to be tumbled into a spin, forming a tiny buzzsaw flying through the air that tends to dismember targets. Very unique, pretty cool, honestly. And next, we have the CLEO Accelerator. So this is an unscrutable internal mechanism with no obvious power source that accelerates projectiles leaving the barrel, and it also increases recoil, making the weapon harder to control, but it's going to make it so it hits harder and it's going to pack more of a punch. These are the two new weapon mods that they're kind of unique, they're kind of cool. I was hoping to see a few more weapon mods, but maybe we'll see some in the next DLC, even though that it's unannounced. But on to the melee weapons. So we have 8 melee weapons to talk about here. 2 of them are Red Talon and the other 6 are CLEO. So the 6 CLEO weapons do not actually have an actual in-depth description because this was from a developer's build. But the first one is the RTX Extermination Blade. So you can see here that it is a lightweight, durable, and easy to swing. They've proven quite popular among troops assigned to clearing infestations. So you can see here it has decent durability, very, very quiet. Dismemberment's pretty decent. But next we have the CLEO Hand Axe. As you can see, it does not have a description, but it does have some different things here that kind of shows what it is intended to do, and you can see that it's very quiet, and it has a good dismember rate. Next, we have the CLEO Battle Axe, which this one has a very, very high dismember rate, obviously all the way up. Very, very quiet, and lethality is actually quite high as well. Next, we have the RTX Crusher. So this thing is an absolute beast with durability and knockdown, and it says it's a heavy reinforced breaching hammer issued to the Red Talon forces whose work demands a nigh indestructible zombie fighting kit. Honestly, looks to be a pretty beast weapon. Next, we have the CLEO Long Blade. So you can see that the dismember and lethality and quietness is all the way up. Max durability, not so much. Very fast as well. It says that the speed is all the way up, so that one looks to be a pretty cool weapon. Next, we have the CLEO Great Hammer, and this one, obviously, the impact all the way up, knockdown all the way up. Not very quiet, but this thing will hit hard, absolutely hard. Next, we have the CLEO Warhammer. So obviously, impact almost all the way up. Knockdown's pretty high. Max durability is decent. Pretty similar to the last CLEO weapon. but overall pretty decent. And lastly, we have the CLEO Mace, so you can see that the knockdown all the way up, impact is decent, max durability is decent, kind of similar to the last couple of melee weapons we saw there, but overall 8 new melee weapons, 2 of those with being the red talon ones that looked pretty cool, as well as quite a few of those CLEO ones. And now on to the juicy stuff, guys. We will be talking about the new ranged weapons. So let's kick things off, guys, with the CLEO Sharpshooter. As you guys will notice, there isn't an in-depth description here, but down at the bottom you can see that all of these weapons are going to take their own specific ammo. This one actually has an 8-round magazine. Pretty cool weapon. CLEO Battle Rifle here has a 16-round magazine, high power, high accuracy, and this is also an assault rifle, and it does not fall into the sniper rifle category, but very powerful. Next, we have the CLEO SMG that has a 128-round magazine and also has decent accuracy and very high control, also a very high fire rate. Next, we have the CLEO Heavy Sniper that actually has an 8-round magazine, and this thing is going to be an absolute monster. If you thought the other snipers in the game were good, wait till you see this bad boy. Next, we have the CLEO Machine Pistol, so it's going to behave similar to the Glock. Obviously, it's basically fully auto with a 32-round magazine, decent control and decent accuracy. Next, we have the standard CLEO Pistol, but it does have a very, very high fire rate. It actually has a capacity of 8, great accuracy, great control, very little power though, but overall looks to be a decent weapon. Next, we have the CLEO Blast Rifle, so it says that it's actually just a ranged rifle, has a 16-round magazine, and it says that there is a support high precision mode for long range shots. Next, we have the CLEO Assault Shotgun, which has a 16-round magazine, absolutely insane power, decent fire rate, decent control for being a shotgun, and overall that thing is going to destroy. And lastly, we have the standard CLEO Shotgun, which has a 16-round magazine, absolutely crazy power, and all the other stats are decent range for actually being a shotgun. So those are all of the new ranged weapon, guys, and please take note that all of the stuff that you guys seen in this video is going to be obtained by playing the Daybreak DLC. So you're going to go in, survive as many rounds as you can. The more times you survive rounds and stuff, you're going to unlock some of these items in the game. You're just going to have to go track down the Daybreak trader and actually use the currency that you earn during Daybreak, which is called Prestige, and you will be able to purchase all of the things that you saw in this video in your actual communities and equip them to your communities, as well as you will be able to recruit some Red Talon soldiers and stuff to your communities by playing the Daybreak DLC. But that is pretty much going to do it for the video, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, you guys are excited about all of the new weapons and gear and all sorts of cool stuff coming in the Daybreak DLC, make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And overall, guys, like I said, that's all. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.